Welcome back, everyone. It's 8 o'clock on the 15th of September. That would be a Monday. Welcome to the new week. Hope you're all doing well. This is episode 248 of Latent Space Live. I'm Drift Johnson. This is Scuffed Teapot. Welcome. We're going to continue pretty much where we left off last night, although in between now and then I've already completed 2 new aesthetics. And we're going to be taking a look at the outputs. So this is chalk and cheese. Let's see what it can do with chalk and cheese. We're going to be putting the coffee time inputs in there with the Thora model reinforcing on the WAN output. We'll take a more deeper look at that in just a second. But don't forget, if you're watching live or if you're watching later, all of the links are in the description. You can join us on Discord. The music you're listening to is on Spotify. And that's pretty much it. So let's see who's here. So Apolloni Art has got some lyrics. Full Dive Media, hi, how are you doing today? We're doing great. Start the week as we mean to go on. Zeus194 says hello. Hello, Zeus. Full Dive says, is that from a game? What do you mean, like the picture, the music? What do you mean? I'm not quite sure what you mean. No, this is just Thora. Let's go full screen. So we're in Comfy. We're taking the Thora inputs. Okay, so this is the image input for the vision, at least. It'll be a slightly higher quality version that went into the image input, but remember, it's an IP adapter. I think it does a pretty good job, though. I mean, if you look, if you take a look at that image there, right? Remember it? And then we took a look at this one here. It's the same character, so it does a great job of reproducing the character. Now we're using the chalk and cheese model right now, which is an experimental aesthetic I've come up with. So it's going to do some weird stuff. As you can see, it does some weird stuff. There's some weird... I think she's got butt cheeks for a belly button. That's pretty unique. But yeah. So this is an experimental. And in a couple of images, it's going to start using my next aesthetic, which I've cooked up, which is called Glass Nerves. Now, God knows what that will do, but I'll probably turn off the Thora Laura at that point, because I think we've done enough. I was generating some new images for the coffee time, so we're going to give that one a run. So I hope you're all having a lovely Monday, as it is another day, another donut, as they say. Still haven't got that upscale. I've got it set to 8 steps, which gives us slightly better outputs. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the gallery up real quick, because that's a better place to start. So where did we start from? Oh yeah, we better not do that bit, because I put some Sharona in there, and it was like Sharona 0, so she was like sometimes not having any clothes on. So I'll start from there. But yeah, we were doing Cthulhu, Thora. We were doing a bit of this yesterday. May as well go through some of those full screen. So like I said, this is the Cthulhu Craftian ENH. The nice thing about it is it allows you to keep your character. So if you put your character data set or your normal prompt into the enhancer, it's going to keep your character. And then obviously I've shown you how you can make your own aesthetics. What we're going to do is we're going to be a little bit more practical later on in the show. We're going to make something which is more of a stage prop ENH. So it's going to set the scene for us. We're going to have an agent that sets the scene. Dragon Diffusion is here. He says, "Pah, missed the beginning. I'm making the Oculus data set." I can't wait for that, by the way, mate, because I want to make a companion tool for your Oculus. So yeah, we'll have to chat about that, I'm sure. But yeah, like I said, look at that gun. So cool. So yeah, we've pushed it back towards Thora, so sometimes the face and the shape and the style might deviate from what you might expect, but we've managed to get some really nice dynamic scenes. You know, there's action in there. Stuff's happening. I feel like we're actually at the point where we could do complex stuff now. Where before it was just portraits and trying to get it to be consistent. Consistency isn't the goal here. We're doing style fusion with advanced agentic enhancers. Essentially, we've retained the character and then built an entire scene around that character without changing her. That was the goal, and we've ended up with a much higher quality version of the character as well, which is pretty awesome. As you can see, this is all using the new Cthulhu Craftian enhancer rather than the biomechanical. Okay. You can see it's like literally taken the original image, made it way better, and then also introduced a scene, you know, with the enhancer. I love how it's like fusing photorealism and the anime style. It's very cool. Some of them are a bit weird, but I put SDXL inputs into this. They were like tiny. Okay. I shared some of these in the images section. The thing I really like about this technique is it opens the gates, because it means that if you have a creative trained upscaler, you don't really need to train on the model, and it means you can use any image model. Because we've used Seedream 4 for this. And then we've put it back to our character with a WAN upscale to 4K. Quite simply, that's what we've done. So the WAN LoRa is what's taking it back to our work, whereas the prompt is the same. So we say same prompt to both and then pass the image along. And it works really well. Getting good character detail. Like, this character isn't even consistent, so I'm going to take my character that is consistent and we're going to start putting her into scenes which are based on her book. So then people ask me, what's this for? Right? It's so we have total control over both things, the character and the environment. That's what it's for. Thora is a bit of a test character. She doesn't really have a consistent... She's got a face that's consistent and a vague haircut that's consistent. But to be honest, it's just, you know, cosmic eyes, red hair, vague cyberpunk stuff going on. And then this is all Cthulhu. See what happens when we mix that in. Like I said, that would have been one of the close-ups. And like I said, it's done an amazing job. It's done an amazing job of reimagining my character in these themes. Okay? The Cthulhu theme. Amazing job. Couldn't have asked for a better output. Honestly, it couldn't, you know. Ooh! I was messing around with phonemes last year, or the year before. So I had a data set of Thora where she has phonemes. And I wanted to know, you know, if we could prompt phonemes. And you kind of can. See how her mouth is in different position in some of these. Ah! So you kind of can, I think you kind of can prompt phonemes, but that was just a little experiment there. I think partly it just takes it from the image. So we're going through various different style of like different realism, anime to photo to 2.5D to CGI, but that's what she's good for. She like sort of scatters around all over the place because she's got like a vague anime style, but I didn't use an anime token, so you'll get all kinds of graphic design, digital artworks. See, that's photo real. that's a person. Love it. So you can see how, you know, different ones, we're getting different details. It's like, it's all about the prompt. I'm using an enhancer that isn't specifying. We were talking about this. I think it might be worth having a skin agent for use with realism, which is basically reading your enhanced prompt and then enhancing it again by expanding or adding face skin tokens, right, relevant to the prompt. Because I think that's probably a good idea. Because I'll be honest, I never even train on anything to do with skin. You know, if you look at any of my captions, there's nothing in there about skin at all. So I reckon if you actually train the tokens, like, you know, pigment, all these sorts of things, pores, blemishes, because then if you actually, yeah, anyway. These wilds, like I said, so cool, because we wanted to have a Cthulhu coming out of the scene somewhere. That was the brief. And I've just gone through. Oh, we're doing energy punch. Okay, so we might be getting into the combat phase. She's wow. Bio boosted Thora with ancient runes. She's doing an energy punch. I love it. It's so dynamic. Because I have a load of data sets which involve, you know, melee combat, fighting robots, and all this sort of stuff. And there was no point using them with a lot of models because it just doesn't understand what you're saying. And look, it's the Attack on Titan salute right round the back. Look at that. Energy punch. Love it. Hey, Fernicar's here. Welcome, everybody. Battlecruiser operational, pink waving. Oh, hey, yeah. I saw what you did try. Yeah. I just read it out as well. Liked and subscribed. Indeed. Don't forget to like the show. Right, and that's the end of that folder. I'm going to leave it on that one. That one's awesome. So we've got the cosmic elements, the cathedral elements. You've got the character in the original pose. And then it's got an enhanced energy punch. Alright. Oh my god. Chalk and cheese, everyone. Remember how I said yesterday at the end of the show we're going to do chalk and cheese? We did it. We did it. Chalk and cheese, everyone. Don't ask me why the chalk is pink. But yeah, this is nice. She looks frosted. Look at this detail. It's lovely, man. So good. Who's counting fingers now? Count the fingers, boys. Hey, Kirk Curtis, welcome to the show. Welcome. Zeus is saying, if you've got SDXL, try Smooth Booster. Well, that's the thing. I'm just shoving the SDXL straight. Well, in fact, we're not. I tell a lie. Oh, my new... Guys, my new enhancer's sick. That's the first image. I call it glass nerves. Ah, man. I can't wait to see that enhanced. Glass nerves is awesome. I based it on coral. I allowed it to have coral as well. So what's supposed to happen is the coral is supposed to come from the power center, which isn't necessarily the brain. Oh, yeah, look at that. You've got the coffee time in crystal. I can't wait to see what it's going to do with it on the WAN side. That's so good. Oh, man, that's going to be a treat. Okay, so we're going to get there eventually. It's still cooking these. There's like eight. So life-sized crystal sculpture of an animated anime character. Good times. Right, we'll come back to that. But yeah, like I said, I did the chalk and cheese. It's really good. The detail on the... It looks like snow, though. You know what I mean? Doesn't it look more like ice? There's like chalk. It's like, I don't know. Maybe it can't do it. But well, anyway, I thought it would be fun. Chalk and cheese. It'll probably do all kinds of weird stuff, that one. Cheese in coffee, says Zeus. Look like your average morning meal in the north of France. Right, cheese and coffee. Ah, well, you know, hey. Whatever you need. Let's get back to the images. So if I go back and I go up, we're on the coffee time. Oh yeah, there's plenty of images in here. Right. So we start off spooky. So obviously we always use the coffee time prompts with whatever we're doing. It's kind of nice. Coral from the spine, says Vernica. Hey, you could say that. We haven't seen enough samples to see how it behaves. But this would be the Cthulhu Craftian mixed with the Thora. And then we've got a strong input of, you know, her holding a sign in a particular style. It's very nice. Spooky coffee time. Because we're going to have... I'm getting us ready for Halloween, guys. And then we'll have to come up with like a Christmas theme, I guess. Maybe it'll be always snowing. See, it's the same exact pictures. Have you noticed? I mean, if you're familiar with the coffee time set, you'll notice it's the same, you know, same girl, same pose, same style, same, you know. So it's actually really good at matching. But then also, so for style transfer, this is an epic little technique we've stumbled on. And I think you can make even better by reinforcing it. So at the moment, we're only reinforcing the character. But I bet if we turned those ENHs into captioneers, picked some really good samples, trained a Laura for WAN, and then selected that and put the trigger in with the Thora, it's going to make it even more. You know what I mean? It's going to make it even heavier, basically. At the moment, it doesn't really have a Laura to hook into. So it's actually really impressive it is able to do this much. Because none of this is trained. It's already in the model. You see what I mean? We're doing all of this with prompt engineering. The only Laura stuff going on is the character, who is like vaguely consistent as redhead with occasional military gear. You know. If you recognize the pictures, you know what it's like. Her style wanders from her age wanders, her height wanders, whether she's a photo or an anime one, it wanders. It's just kind of all over the place. It's one of my earliest SDXL models. Like, if you don't say anime, you don't get anime. And the image inputs varied because we were like, oh, let's make a, you know, we'll do all kinds of different realism and all kinds of different stuff. So obviously now we're in the Gothic, is it Gothic scale? I think it's Gothic scale. If I forget, I think it's Gothic scale now. So, you know, she's trying to look anime and then it's making her look realistic, and it's kind of weird sometimes. I think it works. You know. There you go. Now we're in Brutal Futures. For some reason, the anime seems to play well with this. You know, I shouldn't speak so soon. Well, in a lot of the images I saw, it seemed to play nicely. Yeah. There you go. That one's pretty good. Like, you'd think that is the woman that Thor is based on. You know what I mean? That's really cool as well. It's reimagined it with the Brutal Futures. Love it. Everyone sits in like an empty jacuzzi with ashtrays. Retrofuturism. Oh, we got a golden square, guys. Shall I line it up? Brutal Futures. I love this, right? Look at this. Retrofuturism bunker inside a cathedral. Hell yeah. Coffee time? It's not coffee time yet, but it will be later. Another smoker's bathtub, I guess. Weird. Concrete chairs. We're catching up quick. We're going to be up to current in a minute. Coffee time. So, like I said, it does this technique does an excellent job of just taking the prompt and the image, you know, from the image prompt system. So if you weren't here yesterday, you don't know what we're doing, we'll get to the Comfy very shortly because I'm going to run out of images in a minute. There's only actually 50 images in this folder and we've already been through most of them. even respects the hand signs. She's got an extra finger, but that's because the image that went in had an extra finger. It even respected extra fingers. Because that's like from the source. We're into... Right, so that's the last Brutal Futures one. I really like that image. That's probably one of the best Brutal Futures we have. And it's a perfect coffee time with a well distinguished Thora. You know what I mean? So I'm like, well, hey. So let's get into chalk and cheese. Chalk and cheese was a little joke aesthetic because chalk and cheese don't mix. And so we thought, wouldn't it be fun to make the agent create this chalk and cheese environment? The jump in quality is huge, isn't it? We're currently looking at a 4,736 by 2048 image, which is 11.6 megabytes. So yeah, this is what I call next gen image gen. Like, you know, I admit I'm still using one for the upscaler, but if we actually had C-Dream, we could build it ourselves and it would be even better than this. Okay, I'm just going to point that out. Because right now I'm having to use WAN 2.2 in tiled to upscale to 372 locally, right? That's how I'm getting my work trained, you know, because I've got Aloras for WAN. So I can get my character back in that way. Even though she looks a bit weird. It's fine. It's fine. I can get my character in. Okay? But ideally, we would want to be able to train for a model like C-Dream. A 2K base. We need a true 2K base model that we can train on. And then we can, you know. But at the moment, I use C-Dream API. And I go into the WAN 2.2 for the upscale at the end. So I go from 2K to 4K plus. It's like 3072X is what I go to. Tiled at 256 with Hypertile node and Comfy. Super quick. It's not like a huge deal. If you go 4-step, it takes like a few minutes. If you go 20-step, as Dragon pointed out in the chat, you can get like much better skin details for photorealism. But obviously it takes longer. But we are talking about, you know, creative upscaling with our Lauras. Now, obviously, if we had a 2K base model ourselves for imaging proper, like not using a video model on one frame mode. Oh, wow, there's chalk people in the background. That's so bizarre. It's like coffee times written in honey, and I've never seen her wearing that material. But yeah. So we're getting our work into the scene. It's all exactly as it should be, right? But this is a custom aesthetic, which I just made up in a 20 questions interview. So let's get into my newest one, which is the last one was all about the background. And well, in fact, if you remember Brutal Futures, it doesn't touch the subject. It only does background. This one does everything, like a big restyle. Right, this one only, well, it should only touch the subject. It shouldn't be acting on the background as much as it is here. But this is the first image we've had out of it. I call it Glass Nerves. This is the Glass Nerves aesthetic, and the idea is that the subject is made out of transparent glass, and their internals should be made from coral, which is like a nervous system. And it branches out from the center of power, wherever it thinks that is. I wanted to give it some, oh yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. I'm so happy with this. Look at this. She's got a coral internal power system. And then it's like the nervous system or blood or whatever veins just kind of in the glass. I love it. Whoa, your heart is your brain, guys. It's decided that the center of power is in the heart, not in the brain. It's getting a little bit confused, but I am trying to make it do weird stuff. I'm really happy with that. So that was a 20 questions interview that designed this aesthetic. So obviously, you know, it doesn't have to be woman holding a coffee time sign. I just wanted to see how good it was able to stay on rails. And what you'll notice is that in this instance, it didn't touch the background. Yeah, it's sort of, the background's very repetitive and low rent. but I think it had to spend so much attention on the subject that the background just kind of became an afterthought. So I'm just happy it's not trash. That's a banger. It's Thora, but not as we know it. I'm so happy with that. And so what I propose is for the next half hour of the show, I'm going to take a look at the book, Sharona Book 1, and we're going to analyze the environments that are in that book, and then we're going to use that to craft an aesthetic, which we'll then use to create the scenes from the story with the character model, which is consistent and we already have trained. So it's like I don't have to do all that stuff. We've already done all that stuff. This is like a big plan, and it might just come together today, so that'd be nice. A couple of things, though. I'm going to have to find the book, aren't I? Let's hope I can find it in the Disney archives. Oh, boy. Coffee time. How's the next one looking? I just want to see how Seedream actually brings them out. So this is the actual output from Seedream. Okay. So as you can see, it's good, but see how it's kind of unrefined? But it does have a natural look to it, if you know what I mean. Excluding the cartoon face, I mean the features. No more pumpkin. Yep, no more pumpkin, Fernie, because we can make an ENH that's just going to do the scene and leave her alone. And then that way we'll have all new environments. I might use the old environments, though, so some pumpkin infection might still sneak through. But yeah, as you can see here, the quality is amazing. The definition is actually really good. But when you zoom in on it a bit, it starts to show its limit. It shows its limits. So you can see here, the hand is amazing. It's actually really good. Like what I'm asking it to do is a really crazy thing. And it just eats the task for breakfast. Look at this now. I mean, if this isn't the next generation of image, I don't know what is. Like, because what we're doing is we're using Agentic prompt enhancers on the way in with image, which is described. So you have an image that is described. You put the image in, you put the prompt in. The enhancer does its thing. And then we can have all these different modes of operation. So like we could keep a consistent character and put them in a different scene. Or we could completely transform the character into like this. And like I said, if I show you the... Whoa. I hate it when that happens. There we go. So let's have a look at... No, we won't even bother with the prompt. What we'll do is we'll get the Claudage. And we will say... Turns out, by the way, in case you read really quickly, I already have the correct one. Yeah. Glass nerves. I'm going to speed cover this because we already covered it in detail yesterday. This is the first prompt. Glass nerves, transparent sculptural aesthetic. I wish to define a new aesthetic style where the main focus of the image is always a high quality, totally transparent glass sculpture with details, surface reflections and slight lensing of the background visible through the glass object or person. In addition, I wish to include a specific feature to the inside of the glass sculpture, which will feature a coral-like structure which is growing from the center of the object or from the assumed brain location. I think in the interview we switched that to power source of the person, machine or animal. Coral structure grows outward like a nervous system using veiny, thin sinew-like flesh material. That could do some with some work, but I already have other Lauras I could load in to make that happen. You know, like we could load in Cthulhu or Geiger on top, and it would start to do that anyway. So I wasn't too bothered. Sparsely fill out the structure in organic branching structure. I'll call this glass nerves, and then we can complete a 20-question style interview using the answers to update an aesthetic definition, which will be created. And then he's asked me lots of questions, and then at the end of all of that we have add aesthetic definition, which I then put the T2I base ENH, which is in the repo, and then the aesthetic definition, which you've created from that, right? And it'll turn it into T2I ENH glass nerves, which we then put in the folder of, you know, you can put your own in there, right? So you put them in the folder and then bang, you're in ComfyUI. Whoa! The next one's wild. Okay, hang on. And then we come over here and we have Zenkai ENH. That's the node. It just loads MD files from a folder. System prompts. That's it. System prompts that go into Olama or OpenRouter or whatever node it is you use to do inference with an LLM. So select the enhancer you want to use. This is T2I glass nerves. It does have vision, I think. So we also put the image into there. So we're doing image and then we're taking the prompt. So coffee time. This is just another node I use. It loads the image with its corresponding caption, right? So then when you load an image, it already came with a pretty good description of what it is. So that gets fed into the enhancer, and out the other side comes the same image but obsessed with your new aesthetic. Yeah. So it's reimagined it according to the programming. Now we've made a whole bunch of these. We did Brutal Futures, which is brutalist mixed with retro futurism. We did Gothic Scale, which is like spooky cathedral stuff. We also did this one, a Cthulhu Craftian, we did on the stream yesterday. And then I've just added the Chalky Cheese just for fun, and then this latest one which we're playing with, Glass Nerves. Now I've got to be careful zooming in on that. It's alright, it's just organs. I'll get away with it. Isn't that funny? You can show organs but no skin, no nipples. But yeah, that's not our intention. We're obviously just making art here. But like I said, now we have Thora made out of glass with like a coral nervous system inside. That's crazy. Damn. So there's your original. Coffee time with the Thora in the random clothing. And oh my god, what have we made? We've made something else there, guys. You might say that's actually horrific. But yeah, like I said, some of them are alright. Some of them are kind of cute. Anyway. So, that was, like I say, an aesthetic that we came up with in 20 questions, right? So, with everything explained, what we've actually done, someone said yesterday, well, what for though? And so the answer is, this is a character, not this character. I reckon, do you know what? I'm going to switch it up now so that it makes Sharona instead. And we're going to get some glass Sharona for fun. But we won't be doing that in the end. So let's just say Sharona, glass, coffee. It probably won't work as well because it is actually Thora that did the coffee time, right? So it all kind of lines up because that is what it was, right? It's a girl with red hair holding a coffee time sign, so it aligns well. That's so crazy. I'm going to post this one up because that one is really nice. So obviously I share a whole bunch of this stuff in the Discord. You can just go ahead and see them like in full quality on your end. Just join the Discord, links in the description. Go to the image sharing section. Right. So I think we've explained everything here. I'm just going to check yeah, no one's asking questions about that. Good stuff. So yeah, it's like I said, pretty standard, straightforward. So what I'm going to do is change it over so that it's now using Sharona. So obviously we're going to have to find some Sharona captions. So we got Sharona Woman V5A. That sounds pretty high up there. I think I was in the middle of making a V6, but we didn't get that far. Other things took priority, so we'll use that one. So we'll go Sharona V5. We'll leave it on the Crystal ENH because it'll be funny. Do I need to change it? Yeah, of course. We need to change the trigger on the Laura to Sharona Woman. Different character. I think she's just Sharona, there's no 4. I know, I think I just kind of made a mistake with, I should have put a 4 there, didn't, and it was like, it's too late. You've already trained everything. And it was working great, so I was like, It's alright, don't worry about it, it's fine. So yeah, we'll turn on Sharona and turn off Thora. Let's turn her down to 80 so it was the same. And I think that's pretty much it. Once you've changed the LoRa and that, and we've changed the project name, I think, yeah, I've already done that. Sharona Glass Coffee. I'll queue 8 of those. And then we need to get our project ready. Oh, what's this? We've got a new one. That's actually crazy though. It's definitely something. So anyway, that's what we wanted. I wanted glass nerves. Yeah, that's what we got. So, as you see, glass nerves, glass construction, perfectly clear glass, solid glass, polished surface, internal coral, vibrant pink, orange, red nervous system branching from logical control center, reflections and lensing, lighting, scale, atmosphere, and then more conditions. A woman reading, life-size, perfectly clear crystal glass sculpture of woman reading a book, and then all the other. Yeah, you see, that's how it works. All right. Now, obviously, the next piece of the puzzle in this system is to invert this into a captioneer. So that means instead of it making detailed image prompts, it's now making image captions, which is kind of the same thing. It's kind of the same thing, but instead of taking a text input, it only takes an image input. That's kind of the difference. So while we were making, this makes text, so we go text in, text out, and then we change its programming so it now goes image in, text out, right? And then you go ahead and curate a really good set of examples of this particular thing, retrain them, and now you can reinforce the enhancer, right? Which is basically what we've been doing with the characters. So you can do the same thing with backgrounds, styles, concept. You can do the same thing. And some people have been doing it with, like, you know, just use the words for the skin, right? We've been talking about this a lot. But my plan here is a little bit different. So now I've like demonstrated how this works. The plan now is to show you how you can actually use it. So we're not going to do it in here, unfortunately. And the reason is because Claude's stupid. I don't know why, but for some reason at the moment, if you try to put, like I tried this earlier, you tried to put a document in here that's too big. And it's like it didn't happen. So I'm just going to use VS Code with the 1 million context, and he can figure it out. So let's go hunting. Oh, actually, do you know what? Yeah. Let's just go hunting. So I'm going to need... Because obviously, I probably should have pointed this out at the start. Everything that we're talking about right now is in the DJZ ENH system, which is up on GitHub. There are nodes for it. You can install them with Comfy, I think. And if not, you can just do a git pull into your custom nodes and run the install portable for portable Comfy users. Other than that, I mean, does it even have requirements? It doesn't even have requirements. Just put it in there and it works. I like run on autopilot sometimes, guys. So I've put a requirements and an install script in there, and Pitman, and the joke is it doesn't even have any. Love it. It's just autopilot. Oh, it must need these. Doesn't need them. You could just unzip it in custom nodes and you're done. But the point is, it loads the enhancers from here, and I include my I2I base, my T2I base. And there's a T2V somewhere, T2V, and there's a whole bunch of examples of how you can build different things. But really, I encourage people to just make their own stuff. I'm not like bothered if you use mine at all. I tried to give out some stuff so it's like easy for people to make good images with the LoRa's, you know, because you have a LoRa aware enhancer and it'll always make whatever the LoRa's good at. Okay, they might be a little overpowering sometimes, but people that want an easy way to just type a cat and get the style of, it works. Look at this. So she looked like that. Yeah, that was what she looked like. Now she looks like this. And by the way, guys, just to let you a little, what the hell, why, what? At 2K, 21:9 aspect, you got 3024 by 1296, which means we can crop at 720 vertical, okay? But we're going to then boost it up so that it's going to be 2048. So that means we can do a 16:9 crop from here, okay, if we want. So obviously looking at this image, right, I'm not really interested in anything over here. It's kind of an error. But I can get a really good, I reckon I'll be able to get a really good vertical crop out of this. And like I said, it's 2048 tall, which means 1920 by 1080 vertical. You can just snip it out of here. And if you want to have your, you know, your framing, you can do different cuts at different aspect ratios, right? And it's exactly the same every time because it's just a recrop, right? But I'm actually surprised at how good it is at following, because I'm asking it to do something really crazy here, and it's actually following it pretty well. Even though it's like coral and glass now, she's still got the choker and the bikini top. The shorts are there even though they're made out of glass. The font right down to this discoloration of the wording here, that was a mistake. And it's honored it. It's kept it that way. So if anything, it's a little bit too good at following, I think. But certainly, can it do like abstract stuff? The answer is yes. And this is a big limitation of some models. You know, they're really good quality, but can they actually do custom styles? And what we've shown tonight so far, I hope, is that not only can we do custom style overall, we can do custom style applied to just the background and keep our character the same, but then we can also do crazy character transformations as well. Kinda, I would say, without changing the background, but I'll admit it has changed the background, okay? I mean, it's not bad, but you can see that all the effort went into making this. You know, it's quite clear, right? This is okay, don't get me wrong, but you can see how it's kind of losing the plot a little bit in the background. But I'm just going to take a crop out of this anyway. I'm just going to take a vertical crop of that, because that's really good. Anyway, oh, looks like we're in Sharona Town, so that gives me the opportunity to introduce our new OG, or whatever, OC. Oh boy, what the hell happened? Wow, it's so much fun messing around with the new technologies, I swear to God. Look at that. Wow. You can see, do you know what's interesting? You can see what it thinks the strongest features of the model are. Like, that leather belt is a super strong feature to be able to be, you know, still a leather belt. I guess we'll see, won't we, over the next couple of images. But yeah, just to reiterate, what we're actually doing is prompt engineering combined with vision and IP adapter to get as close as we can to our character. Yeah. So it's like, it doesn't matter. Say a new model comes out tomorrow, it'll be made available on the ComfyUI API in time, and then we can use it. And then we can plug it in to this or a similar workflow, which is using whatever is the best upscale model that we can train LoRa's on. The key thing is being able to train a LoRa on the model you're upscaling with. And like I said, we could bump this up to 20, and we're going to do that, but it's going to take a long time. It'll be a banger of an image, hopefully, or if we're lucky. If we get a good image there, it'll be a banger here. Yeah. But the point is that it's not quick. But by then, we're going to be working on LLM stuff to make this new enhancer and this new style. So my plan is to give her better backgrounds, because she's consistent and she can do all kinds of stuff. And it's pretty good. But the backgrounds suck, man. So we're going to fix that using this technique. So what we're going to do is we're going to literally say, well, what are the backgrounds? Oh, well, she's a character from a book. So we'll use the book. Now, because I can't just drop a book into a Claude, because it's too big, And I could use Gemini, but he'll just skim read it. We're going to do Claude Sonnet 4.1 million in VS Code for this. And I tell you what, if he is silly tonight, we might have to slap him a few times. We might have to incentivize him in radical ways. We might have to use some dolphin magic. Because he has been silly lately, old Claude. He's been having trouble making basic things. Temp, that's the temp folder. I need the proper folder. A proper folder. Let's call this one Sharona Landscapes. Or yeah, well, surroundings. Okay. So we have Sharona surroundings. It's empty at the moment. I just want to see what this upscale looks like. I'm also going to queue that image I was going to get. So it's Sharona, but not as we know it. It didn't really make her solid glass though. She's quite heavily trained, it seems. But it did do the thing. It reluctantly put the stuff inside the glass. And it seems like it's confused over whether her heart or her brain is in charge, which is quite cool. Anyway. Right. Put that there. So then, we need books. Precision paradox, narrative buckets, no. Get out of my face. Flies. Bugs. The bugs have coming to get me. I could have sworn I put my books up on here. Here we go. Ugh. It's my fault for uploading so much stuff. I can't even use the search because all of the code has got the same words and it just comes up with something unrelated. I tried it one time to show everyone and it was like it worked, and it's never worked since. So I've just decided it's cursed. I'll find the books. They're probably on my computer if I can't find them on here. I could have sworn I put them all up here like as like an archive. Do you know what? Maybe if I just say private archives only, I can say private only, right? Sort by private. Private. Right. Still not really healthy. Lost Tales. Okay, that might be one of them. Yeah, I think it is actually Lost Tales. No, they are actually legitimate Lost Tales. Damn, they're all. Need to find Sharona. Are these all seriously? Yeah, they are. Yeah, right. Okay, I'm just going to get it myself. Sometimes you just have to go and go in. I bet they're all in here. If I just type S, Sharona V5, is that an image model? Yes, image model. S again. S again. S again. S again. S again. S again. Shark fin. Uh-oh, that's not good. Oh, wait. Hang on. So that was me making all of the images. Sharona Law. Whoops. Sharona Law. How many books? Wait, I only need book one. Which one is this? Is this book one? Yeah, there you go. Yeah. That's the one. Okay, cool. So it's all of them. Should we try it? We'll try it and see if he breaks. Let's try it and see if he breaks, because it would be a lot quicker to use, and cheaper, to just use El Claudio over here. Okay, so we are building an aesthetic definition based upon the world of my character Sharona. Okay. It should not describe the character, rather detect and catalog her surroundings and general environment to compile or collect a broad definition of the visuals in her world. Yeah. Yeah. I will supply the chapters from the book. You can read each chapter one at a time. I'm trying to give him a break by breaking it up a little bit. Any chance to explain the beginnings a bit, the text parts? Oh, yeah, for sure. I'll do that while he's cooking this one, Accusative. No problem. I'll do a little recap for you guys before we hit coffee time. So no worries. He's asking about explaining the text bits. Yeah, no problem at all. So we're building aesthetic definition based on the world of my character Sharona. It should not describe the character, because we've already got that covered. Instead, detect and catalog her surroundings and general environment to compile or collect a broad definition of the visuals in her world. I'll supply chapters from the book. You can read each chapter one at a time while updating the master environmental aesthetic .md, and I'll say at the beginning Sharona master. Sharona master environmental aesthetic. I know it's long-winded, but we're literally telling him what it is with the file name. So like a little trick. You know, I could probably make it even more, say definition, but I think I've already done that. So now what I'll do is I'll drop all the book in. Copyright Johnson. And watch it spaz out now. I'm going to copy this just in case he... I mean, it's not actually that long. When I gave him a 6,000 page caption document earlier, he did explode though. She was like... and he just did nothing. He went, this is going to take a few minutes, and then nothing. He's so human sometimes. Wow, do you believe that he read all of that just now? Do you believe him? I'm going to tell him to double check that he didn't miss anything. I'm going to say it now, I'm going to get it ready. Think hard, what was it? Think hard while you make sure you did not miss anything. How did I say didn't? Yeah, think hard while you yeah. How am I misspelling things like that? Think hard while you make sure you did not miss anything. Updating the master document. Let's make him work hard. I'm going to download this version though, just in case it's good. Alright, go. So what did he say? Post-regression Earth, vast steppes, harsh seasonal extremes, resource scarcity, raw unfiltered natural beauty, scale emphasizing human insignificance, and survival-focused material culture. There's a few things he's missed. There are no people. It's like a last woman on Earth type scenario for this first book. Right, let's take a look at that workflow while he's thinking about it. Okay, so workflow. Wow. Look at that. So fun. This one's a banger. She's making herself look big. That's an old gag. Original. and glass nerves aesthetic. Yeah. So this is all done with just prompt engineering. There's no LoRa to make this. That's the fun part about this. Okay. So let me just explain the text part for you guys. It's very simple. You get yourself an Ollama node, all right, and now then you get yourself a model like Qwen25VL, which is a big popular one. I'm using Intern VL354 billion, which is a new one, which I recommend. You'll find it on Ollama, okay. And then what I'm doing is I've got my Zenkai ENH, which is a system prompt loading system. It, you know, the folder we were looking at earlier, you put your ENH. I've given you like a base, and then you can customize them. We're going to do it in a minute, and I'll show you what I mean. We've done it a bunch of times lately, but the idea is that you define an aesthetic and then forge it into a vision enhanced image prompt system, for example, right? And then by combining that with a data set, so this is the data set which I used to train the LoRa. So the data set I used to train the LoRa is being fed in with that LoRa loaded. See, we've got Sharona V5A, and we're using the model that was used to train it, but we're putting it through that enhancer. So obviously the prompt that it was trained on, this image was trained on this prompt, right? But then this is the enhanced prompt according to that ENH. All right, now that gets fed into the Seedream API, which we don't have a LoRa for. Yeah, but we do have an image input, which is an IP adapter. It says you can have up to 10 images go into there, by the way. So you could have multi-shot of a consistent character going in there if you wanted. I haven't tested that, because I find sometimes if you have very strong, you know, it's going to affect the background. I mean, as you can see here, we literally had the background. That it was the. It's even outpainted it for free. The car's not canon. The pumpkins are not canon. Well, they are. The pumpkins are canon. So that's an example of what we get. Or sorry, what we've sent in. So we've sent this image into the model from the data set. It's been scaled down a bit for the vision. But yeah, so like I said, just looking at the text, I'm using a data set. So whether that be SDXL, whether that be SD 1.5, it doesn't really matter, because it's going to get resized or used by, you know, IP adapters small anyway. So it doesn't really matter. Same thing for the image input on the model. So the ENH has got vision ability. So that means it's going to take your prompt, which is, and by the way, this has got a second. ENH system has 3 modes of operation. Number 1, you can use automatic mode, where you just give it an image and say, use what you detect in the image. And then it will use the ENH programming to just make a prompt that's like totally hard style on whatever it is, right? Then you can also put a prompt in, which will be enhanced, or you can put in a detailed prompt like we are, and it will enhance that too. But it's almost like if you don't say it, you give him the chance to do what he wants. And then I have all sorts of different variants where we've trained it on the captions of a LoRa. So for example, Airship ENH base has been trained on the airship captions, right? So it's not just it's not just a prompt enhancer. They are all originally based on a WAN enhancer, by the way. So this is so you can make cool image. Wow. Coral glass people. So this is what we're getting out of Seedream 4. Yeah. 21:9. And like I said, once we get the upscale out, oh, got to be careful. It's only coral, YouTube. Anyway. Right. So that's all cooking. Let's see what we're doing over here. Is it here? There we go. Think hard while you make sure you did not miss anything. Oh, good. It took him 9 versions. So, yeah, he didn't think very hard, and he missed some stuff. So now we've got a much better aesthetic definition. Human figures dwarfed. So, right, cool. That would be coffee time, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't updated it with the new images. So, do you know what? For the benefit of people who missed the start, let's put the new coffee time images up. Hold up. I got to be careful, though. Because they haven't been vetted. Sea Dream. Sharona Glass Coffee. There we go. Wait a minute. They're all right. Aren't they? Well, there might be a couple in there that's like a bit... see? YouTube, man. I know. I'll do you one better. Today, it is coffee time, right? It's coffee time. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start up a little slideshow of the images that we've been making over the last sort of 24 hours. And you can watch that instead. So, coffee time, ladies and gentlemen. Get yourselves a drink. I'll be doing the same thing. Let's get it back here. Get me out of the way. So, there have been no deletions. These images are coming out in order. There's no cherry picking. So, you know, it is what it is. This is what I got. I think I'm using a combination of different enhancers in this. Mostly Thora. Probably a lot of Cthulhu. What's interesting is I used the source images for the data sets that I trained, not the latest consistent model, right? I wanted to get a bit of variety. So if we wanted consistency, we could have just used images from the latest model, but that would have been a bit like there's less variety in them, so I wanted to get the most possible variety. So here we are. Oh, hot coffee is way better than cold coffee, guys. Right. Especially as it's getting cold. Oh no, there's a puppet Thora in the beast. Some weird stuff. So this was all done sort of since the last show, I think. Maybe. There might be a bit of an overlap. So we made the Cthulhu enhancer. Oh yeah, we tried using some image inputs, look. I turned the enhancers off for a second to show what happens, you know. And then we went back to straight Thora Cthulhu madness. But yeah, I think she's almost ready to have a platform, a horror platformer game get made. She's nearly ready. You know, a little bit of in-painting, a little bit of removal here and there. A lot of these are very, very usable. Like that. You could build an entire franchise from that image there. Go back. Right. let's say I was Activision and I was trying to sell you this new online game, and all I had was this image. It'd be a pretty good start, wouldn't it? Like, that's all I've got. This is all I have. Right? I'm just saying, like, ideas come from small places. Big ideas come from small places. And a lot of this stuff is like, yeah, I know there's not every image is good, okay? But I like to show all of it, not just the, you know. It would be easy for me to just pick the best images and only show them. So I want to show you everything. And to be honest, you know, it might be that one of these images gets your attention and you have a big idea from a small thing. You see what I mean? And all power to you as well. You know what I mean? That's weird. You get some weird images out of it. It's just because it doesn't really know what it's just, you know, it's just doing it's doing what you told it, and we're using there's a big amount of randomization going on. So the concept here is like, you know, a contrast of scale with the otherworldly beast in the background, you know. He's got an extra leg. Almost, kind of. Thought we'd go over these images again real quick because it's like a lot of people didn't see it. And this is really what it's about. Do you know what I mean? What can the model do, right? What can the model do, right? And the reality is that you can get really close to your work with no LoRa's, just using IP adapter and vision for the prompt enhancement, right? But if you do have trained LoRa's, you can steer it all back at the end. Oh yeah, she's speaking Welsh. Look at that. I forgot about that. It's like, is it doing weird stuff? Yes. Would you use every picture? No. A lot of this, I'm just throwing stuff in. I think this is her rushing. And that would be energy punch. Oh, she's got an extra hand. An energy hand. Energy punch again. Or rushing. Rushing through lasers and explosions. There's a few of these that are like, what are we even asking for? You know what I mean? But I just want to see if it can do action. And it kinda can. But it hasn't been trained for it. So this is just exploration. Like, what's it going to do when we ask it? You know. It's not. I've decided that's not canon. She doesn't breathe fire or set on fire. It's not canon. Nice. It's a good promo there. You could build a franchise off that. I'm just saying, like, every now and then the imagery hits the right... Oh! We got to make sure that we don't go... You got to be careful with... You got to be careful with these Chinese models, guys. Alright. Every now and then they go a little bit wild on you. Alright. So yeah, art being art. Let's go ahead and do the next stage. So we've got this now, right? Is it in my puffer? Yeah, we got it there. Sharona Aesthetic 1. So I'm going to do the next step, which is Sharona Aesthetic 1, and then we need to get our ENH. Module. Here it is. Oh man, so many. There we go. T2I base ENH. Okay. And then I just need the prompt, which is in another castle, most likely. Here we go. Yep. There we go. Okay. We can now begin using the aesthetic as created, as defined, to create a new image prompt enhancer named, and then we got to give it a name. So I'm going to call it Sharona Scenes. I guess. Sharona Scenes? Yeah. Scenes or scenery? Let's go with scenery. Probably doesn't matter, but... Alright. Oh, hang on, I need to change this. This isn't the same. Base template for an image enhancement. We can use this as a thing to adapt our Sharona aesthetic. Okay, and then it's going to have a completely different, as we create, which will use align any input prompt with the, oh actually that's going to work because I called it Sharona scenery aesthetic. That's fine, that's fine. I think I somehow encoded it and I'll get away with it. Because the trouble is, it's like, what are you trying to do? You don't want to give it too much power, so we'll go for it. I think that's going to be good. So, but like I said, what we're doing is really cool, but it can be even better by doing what I call images last dataset design. So all of this is prep for making a dataset. So in the end, we end up with captioned images which are good and are good examples of the aesthetic that we're working with. If we give it a wide scope of images, we can then train that, and then we can use that to go back towards it, further aligning with our desired look. And so then it doesn't matter which input we use. You know, we could use any image model we want. New image model comes out tomorrow. Don't need to train it because I'm going to do a light image to image process in the upscaling, post-processing. Because everyone's done image to image, you know. It's just that these new models are able to kind of like do edit type behaviors where they retain all of the features of the subject without, you know, so you can get away with a lot. So I'm seeing style transfer coming up as like it's like sniping. It's not like it used to be where it would like change the entire image. You know, in this situation, our character hasn't been changed at all. It's left her alone because you can program the agent to do that. I haven't yet. I might have to add that rule. But we're going to see how it works first. So obviously I've got my Sharona scenery now. It's done. So download that as Markdown. Copy the text because I'm just going to put it in as plain text. We'll make another box. I'll just put it in here for now. It's quicker. So there we go. We've got our new Sharona scenery image and prompt enhancement system. Now I could even tell it stuff like put the trigger in for the LoRa, but there's not much point because remember we're going to be going through a gate first and it doesn't know what the hell that is. And I can just put my, you know, I'm already putting my trigger for my trained LoRa. It's already on there. So the only other way I could make this, better. But that would be by teaching it who the character is. Accusatif asks, how do you train your data? Do you make LoRa or do you use only datasets or IP adapter? Well, I've shown the advantages and disadvantages of using each individual or each combination of, and I believe it's actually a blend. IP adapter and datasets or something else? Yeah. So let me just explain. So if you are to, let's just go back to basics here. Why have I got two of those? Isn't that weird? So let's go back to basics for a second, okay? If you have a prompt, a cat, right? If you have a prompt and you want to do that text to image, right? When you're gonna prompt the model is what is determining what you get. So maybe you put a LoRa in. In fact, let's just do this visually. So we're not going to actually do it, okay? But let's just do it visually. So, you know, say you have a LoRa, and then you have your K sampler. We're not even going to hook this up, okay? It's just for example, right? So you have this kind of setup. We're loading our model. We're saying I want a cat. The LoRa of the cat is determining what we get. You know, you understand that. But if we don't have a LoRa, how do we get our cat? So what we used to do is we'll do, you know, image to image, right? We'll say, oh, I've got a photo of my cat, so we'll put the photo upscale. That's a bad example. Load image. So we'll get a photo of my cat, and we'll put that with it, and now it's like, it's not just any cat, it's this cat, right? So then we put that together and we hopefully get the cat that we wanted, right? And then by changing the words, blah blah blah. But here's the thing, I still want it to be like this though. So that's where the IP adapter came in. So you could give it this, and it would use vision to look at what this is and then inject that into the conditioning. But it's the same as putting the words in. It's just that it's detecting them for you, which made it a little bit more convenient. It might use words that you couldn't think of as well. So that was like an evolution, right? But the thing is, when you come to using like Ollama in between, you know, you have Ollama in between. Now we've got an LLM sitting between it, right? Now this doesn't have image. So, you know, the Ollama has vision built in. You see what I mean? Say the model you're using actually has vision, right? So you're going to put your image in there, you're going to put your prompt in there, and that's great. Yeah, but then we wanted more control. We wanted more control. So we said, okay, how about we do this? We do a custom system prompt, right? Along with our prompt and our image. And like I said, the reason I use a dataset is because it's a convenient pairing, right? So like when I'm pulling an image in, what's the image? We could use vision to describe this, but what's it going to say? It's probably not going to do as well as a human, right? And when we do dataset training, we've already created folders and folders and folders of pairs of images that are described really well. So then what we can do is we can transform this description with the LLM into whatever the hell it's supposed to be. Yeah, so that's the plan, that's the whole goal here. And so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to load my character into a world now that is law accurate, let's say. she's still made of glass, guys. We're gonna have to turn that off. It's a super cool thing though. Look at this. She's having a great time. By the way, Ollama Generate V2 nowhere. Oh, did you have trouble update your nodes if you don't have it? Also, I do show you can use OpenRouter as well. So if you don't have the ability to run local models, you can do OpenRouter as well. So that's also an option. But obviously you have to put your API key in. It's faster, smarter, but you have to pay for every time. I find it very cheap though. Very cheap. It's a very cheap thing to be doing. It's like, you know, converting piece of text to piece of text. Very cheap. Even if you do like 100 images. Certainly cheaper than image generation, I'll say that much. Definitely cheaper than image generation. If you remember, I put like 20 bucks on the account on the show. I've got like I've spent $15. I've had hundreds of images. I'm very happy with the value. The quality is excellent, like I say. And you can do experimental stuff. So, right. Let's see what we've got. So we've got our Sharona scenery enhancer on. We've got our Sharona prompts on. So that means at some point it's just going to stop being glass, and we're going to get the results of all that work we just did. So we've also got it on 20 steps. Ah, that's why it's taking so long, is it? Yeah. That's why it's taken so long. So that means this image is going to be really good, and I'll be sharing it in the image section in a minute. No way. Yes, I forgot about that. I put it on 20 steps. We're going to turn that down to like 4 for speed. 4 is fine, by the way. It's just obviously more steps, more quality, honestly. But there is diminishing returns to all that stuff, you know. I would say probably 20 is about as far as you could go with that. Yeah, look at that. She is made of glass. Now, one interesting thing is Wan likes to put stuff on top of stuff. Whereas the other model was better at putting things inside things. Do you see how this is like... I don't know. I think you can see that it's inside the glass. That looks like it's coming out of the glass a bit, but most of that's in the glass. Whereas this, he has real trouble. See, that is in the glass. That's all out of the glass. And then that's kind of in the glass again. I don't know. Nitpicks. We're terrible, aren't we? We get given this amazing tech and we're like, oh, it's not good enough, actually. Hang on, let me just post this. So far tonight, my favorites have been that one, which was pretty awesome. And then, obviously, this one, which we're just putting up now. It's not downloaded the quality yet. Come on. There we go. It's not bad. It's very cool, like, because the thing is, it's just prompt engineering. There's no LoRa to make it like this. It just had the ability in the model already. Whoa. So cool, man. Hey, keep coming, Aku. We're here every day at 8 PM. Like I said, I like to say this is my little open door art club where we just come in and we all have a look at the latest stuff and share info with each other, you know? Yeah. There's no paywall. Everyone gets the same, you know? I just give it out. Hopefully it's useful. So anyway, it's going to be upscaling that for a hot minute. So that means the next one has got... Yeah, okay, cool. Okay. So does that mean it's doing 20 steps? Because I might have to stop it. Yeah, I can upscale that one again anytime. Stop. We're not waiting... Because it takes a long time. At 20 steps, it's long. Let's see, how long was it? It was going to take 8 minutes. Which, like, listen, we've taken longer than that to make an image in the past, okay? Especially, and at smaller sizes, right? But nowadays, I think 8 minutes, 8 minutes to this sort of size... If it was more than that, it's like, guys, you're kind of getting into, like, silly territory. But, hey, it is good, though. It's done what I asked it to do. It made me a glass version of my character with silly coral veins inside. It's kind of cool. Oh, sheesh. We're going to get it. And this is why you need to do the restore, guys. Because remember, the Sea Dream doesn't know who the hell Sharona is. It's very good at getting the, the bullet points of what she's supposed to look like, and obviously it had the image to go off of. So, the pumpkins. Damn it! Goddamn pumpkins. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna step through now this data set. Now, I need to make sure I'm doing something right here, because I got a funny feeling we're saving the wrong image. Yeah, we're saving the wrong image. Which image are we saving here? We're saving the input image. Derp. Derp. Derp, derp, derp. You need to be saving the one we've spent all the money on. The money shot. Okay, right. Now, what are we going to call this? Folder name is going to be Sharona V6. Probably. And then the file name would just be Sharona. Sharona. Hey, Sharona. And we'll hope that works. That's one of Boyo's nodes. We haven't really used it much. I'm hoping to come to rely on it soon. Because what it should give us is a folder full of the finished images with the captions, which means you can then do a quick train on that folder just by zipping it up. It's like ready to train. All you have to do is delete the ones you don't like. It turns it into a, I don't want to train these pairs, which is like so much easier than like recaptioning images that you already made. There may be some reformatting, you know, like for example, I might get a script to remove the guff. You know, because look at this. There's a bunch of guff. You know, in fact, you can actually clean that up. Yeah, you can actually clean that up. Let me show you how to do that. So you know how we've got this prompt here, right? Yeah. So we've got this prompt, which is the system prompt. And then we've got the input from the model, which is basically an image caption. It always will be an image caption. So what I like to do is I get the string concatenate. And we're just going to append this behind an instruction. Wait a minute, that's wrong. Got the wrong one. String concatenate, I want. I can't even type, and it got there. I got there though. So we put that. We're going to append it. So essentially, this is going to be the caption, but we're going to append it behind a little command, right? And that will simply be enhance this caption, image caption, according to the system rules, system logic, and then so I'm basically saying do what you were already going to do, comma, space, while, and then we can give it a new instruction to do while he's doing it, which is going to be while providing no feedback or commentary in the single line paragraph format enhanced prompt. Okay, and then obviously you were talking, this whole sentence, you were talking about some caption that you're going to supply, right? So enhance this image caption was the first thing you said. So obviously this is going to end with not a comma space, but a semicolon space. Yeah? So now what we're doing is we're saying any caption that comes out of here now has an additional rule which is going to kind of work with, not override, the system prompt to hopefully get rid of this guff, because that's not going to train well and you'd have to use a script. Now I do have a script, ironically, which basically looks for stuff in quotes, because typically I found that the actual prompt is in quotes. And so what you do is you do garbage collection before the first quote and after the second quote, and then you are left with the actual prompt. But like I said, it's unnecessary Python you don't really need to do. So let's see if that has cleaned it up. It might not work because LLMs are squirrely. Ah, yes, sick. So there we go. I'm glad that worked, because I'll be real, guys, sometimes it doesn't and you just have to keep the faith. But it worked. It worked as I expected. So now let's see what we get out of the C Dream. And again, we are feeding our final data set that we used to train the WAN LoRa. So if you had a Flux LoRa doing your upscaling, you'd be using that. And then obviously I'm going to be using the scenery because I want to make scenes from the storyline. I've got my character. She's good. So now we're going to try and make scenes from the storyline. That looks a little bit normal to me. Ooh, I wonder. Okay. Okay. Okay, I can see what's happening here. So because my captions describe what's in the image, that's enough for it to go off of. It's not bad though. It is better. It doesn't look like bloody weird stuff. Well, there is some weird stuff going on. I guess we'll have to find out from the upscale. But yeah. Anyway, some images will be better than others, bottom line. It's not bad. That is about right. It's a little bit too modern, do you know what I mean, this particular example. But what I'd probably do is I'd curate out a lot of the claustrophobic urban stuff, and then I'd have it make more landscapes. Because again, I don't have to do all this image injection stuff, you know. I could find a tight set of images that look like, oh, this is my character, put them on white. Because remember, the ByteDance API here, if you just mouse over it, says there, list 1 to 10 images for single or multi-reference generation. So again, I don't really need to be putting a different image in every time. I could just have a batch or list of 10, up to 10 images that are like character art. So you can use it like that as well. And I think the easiest way what I would do is I would use this LoRa in text to image, and I would generate my character on white in different angles, and then I would plug them in here to get the character locked into Seedream, right? Because that's going to make the upscale even better. And then because you've got the character locked in there, right, you'd be able to start saying, you know, rolling countryside in the prompt, and it'll keep the character, and it'll use the enhancer to make it the steppe, which is where she is. That's the character's location. She's in the, I think it's like southern Mongolian steppes or something. I don't know. We did a load of research. It was so much fun. Oh, there we go. So we've got our image. There we go. That's actually stunning. It's really good. Like, quality, you know, it's the character in a place. At the moment, it's going off of the image input. You know what I mean? Very much the guidance is coming from this. What's, you know. But, it's so cool that just works. All right. The blonde one. Yep. So let's have a look here. What do we got? Epic landscape photography. Sharp-eyed Sharona woman, platinum bob hair, cut, standing confidently against post-regression industrial backdrop. See, I don't want any of that post-industrial stuff. There shouldn't be, in my opinion, any industrial stuff, but... Oh, that's much better. Oh, yeah, look at this. She's in Mongolia. Don't know why she's holding this really weird thing there, but don't worry about that. Let's put her in Mongolia. It worked. Love it. So now I can have my character be in scenes that are actually from the book. And obviously, as you saw, I didn't tell it what that was. I made him read my book to find out what that is. So it's like lore accurate environment generator for the character from that world. You see? And you can just make it all yourself. 20 questions interview, standard LoRa training stuff, caption and retrain your work until you get there. Like I said, look at this. You look at this quality. See this? This is the quality we're getting out of it. That's actually pretty good to come out of, you know, considering we're making it do a bunch of IP adapter and image input and all this. This is very good. It's very much like if I got this level of detail out of Flux, I would have said you have the LoRa loaded, you know. So the IP adapter is actually stunning. And we actually have it in the prop. That's the legit environment, which we've never managed. I've got to point out, the whole time we were working on making the character consistent, we had to abandon the background as something to do later because it was totally out of control. Like, look at this. It's like all of this pumpkin-like fur stuff. I don't even know. It just sort of, yeah. And look at that now. Oh, man. We got Mad Max cities and... It's too good, guys. What are we going to do, hey? I know what we're going to do. We're going to do 32 generations. That's what we're going to do. Yeah, sick. And the joke is I could just put the steps up and it'd be even more quality, you know? At the moment, I'm doing it in, like, fast mode. But what you do is you drag this image back into Comfy, put more steps on the upscaler, and do it again. It won't change anything else. It'll just add more, you know, more skin detail, more texture detail, more sharpness, but takes longer. And so I figure, just do it on 4 steps for fast, get the good ones, then, you know, rerun the good ones with more upscale steps. In Planet of the Apes, they grab things and play with it, trying to find the right usage. Sharona seems to be like that. Yeah. She doesn't know what the coffee cup is for or something. Maybe I put it on my head. Or when she looks around to find stuff. Yeah. Well, the idea is she's supposed to be a bit of a Mowgli-like character, because she's not really... I mean, I don't think... Because that's the thing. I was like, how far in the future do you want this to be? You know, the concept will make the character in the far future where there's been a collapse and there's, like, no people. Population has collapsed, you know what I mean? Like a... Kind of like a Doomer alternate future where COVID actually did wipe everyone out. Do you know what I mean? It's not that. It isn't that. But... it's the easiest way to get your mind on track with what this scenario is. So there's like remnants of humanity, but it's like, in a way, that in the background is almost too modern. Do you know what I mean? It's all too modern. But that's a problem you have, just generally. But yeah, the idea is that she's just migrating south because it's the winter. Winter is coming or something. I think it's... is that right? Winter's coming, so she's going south. Or summer's coming, so she's going south. Is that right? Is that what I should be saying? I don't know. I'm getting confused now. I'll have to read the book and make sure. I'll have to read my book again and find out. Because I want to... This is the one that I wanted to do a graphic book with, you see. Because you could actually... Because the thing is, she doesn't say anything. So it's a really cool way to, like, sort of Mobius hat nod. Because in a lot of... the early heavy metal, they didn't actually, like, the comics didn't have words. It was pictures of consistent stuff telling a narrative visually, you know what I mean? So it's like you didn't actually have words because they weren't talking to anybody, you know? I just found that kind of an interesting concept. Oh no, guys, the boulder is still here. It somehow snuck in. I reckon what I'll do is I'll go through these images and I'll erase stuff and then we'll start training, you know. But yeah, this is pretty awesome. Again, the problem again is there shouldn't be... Well, maybe she built the castle. What do I know? It's not in the book though. It's not canon. Avoid bubble text. Yeah, because, like, I don't think she might shout at the donkey. Not the donkey. The zebra. Need to make a whole model on that as well. Where's the Where's the zebra? And the tiger. She's going to have to fight the tiger. Spoilers. Yeah, so there are other characters in the story, but they're not human because she's supposed to be a survivor at the end of time. That's, you know, bright colours. Stay away from danger, you know. Drift, do you want my Hyborian age prompts to shove in the enhancer? I don't know, because at this point we've, like, gone so far into the definition of the style that it might actually not help now. I should have done, you know, I would have done... I think I already did it early, mate. I think I already did use them early. Yeah. Because it is Neo-Hyborian. That's the idea. We were going for Neo-Hyborian. So there's not many people, and it's kind of gone a bit barbarian-ish, you know. But people still survive and still live. But there's no, like, big cities or technology or anything like that. So I thought it'd be fun. Because the idea was to make it like a survival story about how she has to make this journey and all of the things that happen to her as she's doing that journey. Oh dear. Oh dear, we've got a weird spear. Maybe it's got a zigzag in it, guys. Oh, it's my fault. I have to take the blame. I take the L. Oh no, I gave it. See? I gave it a bad example. That's my B. Oh, it saved me. Look, it's turned it into two different things. Kind of. Not really. No, it hasn't. If they had lined up, that would have looked badass. I guess what you could do, though, right? What you could do is you could just get Photoshop, cut that out, repair the hole, move it down so it lines up with, so just poke out there, and put it like behind the leg. You could do it, you could fix it yourself if you want. It's probably easier just to delete it and just pretend it's going behind her leg. I wish I could just draw a line on the screen. Oh well. The zebra is a mutant and it talks. I think she must be tripping if the zebra's talking to her. Maybe that will be a feature in one of the books. Should go on a spirit journey. But yeah, this is about right. I don't know about, look, it must be really cold out, like, you know. Don't worry, she's got, what's it called? Plus 30 heat resistance from this outfit. So she'll be fine. She just makes a look. And the tiger gets it. Yeah, yeah. Combat zebra. Oh, that's a weird one. It's given her, like, brooches. I wonder where they came from. Okay. It's pretty cold as well. It's like winter. Okay. I think this one should come out nice, even though it's got weird features. All the zebra has to do is kicking. Hey man, have you ever seen a deer attack a dog? It's like actually vicious. They like just stamp on the poor thing with all 4 feet like a crazy person. Like, you're like, whoa! I wouldn't want to be under that. It's mental. You know, I never kept any animals like that big. You know. So, not something I expected. It's like chickens. Everyone thinks chickens are harmless as well, but they can, like, actually they have an ability where they can fly and glide about 5 or 6 feet off the ground, and they go claws first. So they're actually they can be a problem. They can be a problem. It's just most of the time they're super docile, and they would never do that. But yeah, every now and then you get a rooster who could. A little rooster who could. Let's post this one up. It's too much technology. Why are there solar panels? Who made the solar panels? Ah, well. Like I said. Ooh. Oh, wow. That's a little bit more... It's a little bit more fitting. Oh. Uh-oh. Was that me? It's not. IP adapter limitations, guys. It couldn't decide which way to put the leglet. You know, from the input. So it was like, which way do I go now? Which way, WAN model? Yeah, that's a shame. We're just going to cancel that one. There's no point. There's no point finishing that. Waste of time. Because the upscaler won't fix such a big feature issue as that. And you can't really, like... I mean, you could, like, try... You'd have to do stuff. There's no point. Next! Just start again. It's a kind of cool image, though. I kind of like the image, like the idea. Strange that we're making crystals everywhere. I'm not sure what that's about. We might have to take a look at the... Ah, yeah, that's a point. How to tune, right? So how to tune. So if I go here, blah, 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 I'm going to say we seem to be introducing frozen ice and large crystalline growths, which we do not want. We can adjust the system prompt logic to remove these elements. Yeah, so, you know, if you don't want it, just say I don't want that. I think it's part of the seasonal conditions stuff. There is going to be a blizzard, right? In the story, there is a blizzard. So, like, you know, I'm okay with the blizzard, but, like, giant crystals coming out the ground, that's not what we want. So you could just read through it and edit it yourself as well. You don't need to use an LLM for everything. But here we are doing the AI show. So yeah, we're going to do everything with AI, aren't we? Also, quicker. I would say it's like, what do you want? Do you want quality? Do it yourself. If you want speed, do it with AI. And then you can find a comfortable midpoint where it's acceptable and useful. You know what I mean? Obviously, if you're being paid, you can go quality. Take your time, because, you know, when you're being paid, you have time. Anyway. Well, I would hope you have time, if you're being paid. Okay. Are we done, or are we going to continue doing weird edits? Because sometimes he's not done. He'll keep doing more. Yeah, he's done. So we'll copy that, take it back. And this is one of the reasons why I'm using a, what's it called? Text right now. Because I'm not really fully decided, you know. So I'm not going to just add it in here before I even know if it works, right? Make sure that this is nice. So little tweak there. Cancel the queue. What's it doing? It's upscaling. No, it's started a new prompt. Right, stop it then. And then make it do the next one. I bet the next image will be really good. Interesting. I wonder if we're getting like cables and electricity and stuff. I wonder where that's coming from. It's not coming from me. Nor is the armor. Oh, maybe I need to tell it to preserve the character's outfit. Yes. So we haven't done that yet. Or just tell him, do not change the subject. To be honest, yeah, it's usually like you've got a deadline in 2 hours. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, true. It's not bad, but the armor's not canon. And I don't know what the hell's going on with all of these growths. Let's have a look at this. Lush green vines. Have I, like, got some Laura loaded I shouldn't have or something? Have I done something? Shrin's World, Nomadic Woman. See? Yeah, see, this is the issue. It's not doing... It's corrupting the Sharona somehow. Okay. So I need to make it now, Laura, a Sharona... I need to make Sharona Scenery Image Prompt Enhancement System Sharona aware. So here we go. How to make the Sharona aware system. We're going to take a copy of this. So, I love it when it does this. Refresh the page. The upload dialog broke. Let's try it again. There you go. And we're going to take the... I love when you get halfway through something and you're like, and then you get the what now? Ah, yeah, we need to give it the captions. That was it. I should have that file open somewhere. Prompts, please. Tools? No. Okay. I'm nearly there, guys. I just had to make the journey, you know. And it's gonna be Sharona. Fuck that. There's only 25 lines. Really? Hang on a minute. You what? How are there only 25 lines? Oh no, 5A was an evaluation model. That's hilarious. I must have got distracted. 5A only has... How many lines? So Sharona 5A is trained on 25 of the best images, which is really funny. because 5B is based on 200. Whoops, looks like I forgot to retrain that. Ah well, I don't think you can blame me. It's enough images, right? Enough models. So what are we going to do? We're going to say we can adapt the Sharona enhancer.md to include the knowledge. Include the knowledge contained within I'm doing stuff from VS Code. Sharona woman v5a.text while ignoring the scenery and focusing on only the character description to ensure that the consistent description, consistent details, features, the consistent features of the Sharona character are always included first in every enhanced prompt to ensure character consistency while introducing new scenes and surroundings. In this way, our enhanced prompt will align well with the pre-trained LoRa, which has learned these captions. This new caption, this new enhancer, system prompt. This new system prompt will be written to a markdown document named T2I-ENH- I guess it's, because it's LoRa, it's LoRa aware now. Oh, crap. Scenes. Looks like good job. There you go. Wow, I didn't realize everyone was such big fans of the zebra. We're gonna have to do like an actual training model for that guy. Hello everyone. We are now writing the character scene enhancement thing. So hopefully this won't completely smash what I've done, but you know. Blonde-haired woman with bob. Blonde hair, right, I see what's happened. This model doesn't have the rigid way of describing her. I'm surprised it even worked then. Somehow these captions aren't consistent like I normally make them. It must have been an experiment. It's probably why there's only 25 lines. It's probably why it says V5A. What I should really be using is V4. Because it looks like that's not going to be enough information. Let me just see if I can find it. Do I even have V4 in here? Doesn't look like it. I've only got V3. See, there's Sharona woman with short white hair, vibrant orange fur skin blouse with black accents and exposed torso, including matching fur skin wrapped oversized boots and gloves. That is the correct description. Shall I force it to use that? Always begins with Sharona woman. Look at this. Orange crop top, shorts, leg walk. Well, to be honest, I think it's done it for me anyway. It's smart enough, so let's download it, copy it, chuck it in the workflow. There we go. So all of the different versions are in the chat anyway. Why has it put a bunch of ticks in there? It's so funny. Alright, go. Enhance this image according to the thing. Sharona woman, la-di-do. What are we going to get? Young, confident, blonde-haired woman in a bob cut. She wears orange long-sleeved crop top with matching skirt and leg warmers, black utility belt with metallic accents and harness straps, sword strapped to back visible through sleeveless section. Environmental features, scattered construction tubes, debris. Right, so that's all coming from the original image. Is that it? I think that's the one. Okay, it's trying to do... You see what I mean? It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to do the description. Matching this and that, right? It's very close, though. There's the last one. Look, where it's getting confused. Is she just going to school in a rough area? Isn't this just America? There's a car there. Just looks like winter, mate. I don't know what you mean. But yeah. I think I am going to force him to say the thing. Exactly. I'm going to say, amend the description of Sharona to be. Ah, crap. That's like the whole thing. I didn't know. Did I forget to save it? Yeah, I forgot to save it. Copy. Okay. To be. Hunter style cave woman. I'm just going to say cave woman character. Okay. Always. I'm just showing you how you can just tweak it conversationally. It should be obvious to everyone by now, but I just want to like underscore it. It's like, oh, maybe I decide she doesn't have white hair. You know, that would be a big change at this point, grant you. But you know, you could just say actually it's blue, whatever it is you want to say, right? It could be whatever you want. It generally, at this point, it's more about formatting. You know. Tweaking how the formatting will come out. So as you can see here now, look, no matter what we type, it's always going to do showing a woman, and there's a reason why I've done it in order, is because when I train this model, it will have Sharona woman, white short hair with like poetry. It's going to be exactly that, and then the captioneer will describe what is in the background. So, because I kind of know that the character, because I don't want to caption something which I've already described with like rigid language. That's just the same every time. It's how you save half of your token costs, because you don't need to tokenize everything. You only need to tokenize like the background. Everything else was just a fixed string, so you didn't need AI for that. You know, it's like it's always going to be that. It's always going to be. Here we go. It's always going to be up to here, the same every time. That's the root, the caption root concept, yeah? So, like, you know, this is always the same, because she's wearing the same outfit. It's the same character in the same outfit, so she's always wearing, it's the same thing. And that makes sure that you hit what was taught when you train that. Okay, and then this bit is what is actually happening in the image. Is everything after that point is... yeah. But then if we save the caption we use to generate the image, we don't need to caption it. You know, it's been captioned. It's captioned already. Just save the prompt. Alright, so yeah, let's just copy that and update the system prompt again. And then save this one as well, V5. And we'll give it a spin. So it's like there's a lot of little like additional tweaks, you know, that can give you a little bit more quality because you're not wasting or confusing, you know, because all of that feedback stuff is like token noise, but it's kind of easy to filter it out with that line there. Enhance this image caption according to the system logic while providing no feedback or commentary in the single line paragraph format. Enhanced prompt, it should say. Mr. D. Ah, well. Straight into C Dream for the 2K 21 to 9. Got our thing. It should come out. Oh, okay, so this is going to be a tough one because it's got a weird background. It's got like a weird net thing going on. Yeah, he had a bit of trouble with that. It's okay, it's okay. The big reveal hasn't happened yet, so it just looks like a fishing net. Oh, wow, what the... Wow! It made her more caveman. It made her super cave woman style. Wow, is this the new evolution? Super cave woman. That's crazy. I haven't seen... It's never done that before. Oh, that's awesome. Alright, so we wait for the upscale, see what it does next. But I love the background. You know, if anything, the problems are infections from my originals. So, like, if I was to say, do a RemBG on white. So remember, that's a brilliant example. Okay, that's a brilliant example. We're going to do that before we finish tonight. So let's do RemBG, but it's RemBG that allows you to change the background color. Yep. So RemBG. Does it have the thing? Weird. I guess I could do it myself, but it's kind of weird. I just know that Inspire's really good. You know, it's like I could do it in a node, but wow, look at that. That's cool. I don't know what that is. Colored image. We just need a colored image. We need to get image size. It's kind of a lot of work for so yeah, put that in there, get image size, and then that's going to drive whatever this is going to be. And then we do the Inspire net, so pull that in there as well. Ooh, that might be kind of large. Should we resize it first? No. Okay, keep going. Just keep going. Just keep going. Don't worry about it. We're going to make it a white background. A white background. There we go. And then we want to do layer, blend. And we'll do a white background with a layer image and a layer mask. And then we've basically just done, you know, transparent layer on white. That's all it is. It's crazy. Don't think we need to invert the mask though somehow. Let's just get a preview. fat. Screw previews. Let's just go for it. What? Yeah. So I'll put that there. It'll probably complain. Yeah, put that in there, and I think... there we go. Alright, let's give it a blast. It should detect my character. Yeah. Send her in on white. So we're not going to, you know, even though we're doing IP adapter and image to image and all this, well, it's not really image to image. Yeah. It'll come in with just the character, and so we won't get these sorts of things because my original image had some weird stuff going on, right? So I want to bring it in unclouded by the original background and see what it does. Because the scene adapter is working really nice now. It's just straying away from the character a bit too much. And then this is bringing it back, but it's having to do a lot of work. Now, this is actually not such a bad thing to have there, but it's not something I'd want to have all the time. Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah, we've done it. Mission complete, guys. Once that's upscaled, it's gonna look like the character. Sure, she doesn't normally have a stone spear, but it's irrelevant. See if I can get this where you can actually see it. There we go. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, it is a cool looking one. I agree. It does look good, you know what I mean? And like I said, now it's just a case of iterating through my images and getting the nicest ones out to do the final train where, you know. I love it. Bear fur boots. Bear fur booties. So obviously I'll be putting up... In fact, I think I already published the new enhancers. They're already published. Not the glass nerves, though, so I'll put glass nerves up. In fact, should we do one more glass nerves? We haven't done one that doesn't have background info. So I do fancy that. That'll be the last one, so I'll chuck that on there. Yes. This will be... There you go. Dudes. There she is. Is there a bit of deviation here? Yeah, the knife is not in the... the knife isn't in the scabbard. It's just hanging for some reason next to the scabbard. Also, she's got fingerless black gloves at the moment. Apart from that... Oh, yeah, and her boots are looking particularly... I don't know. They're kind of more... They're less orange than usual. Let's just put it that way. But hey, maybe she's been walking around in mud that day. I don't know. I don't know. But I think it... There's your character, you know. Character done. That is the character. She's in her outfit. And now she's in a more realistic environment. So that would be, you know, solved. You see what I mean? So, like, that was the goal. It took 6 retrains to get there, and but now you've got, well, as I say, I think I've got the ability to make every single scene I need to make now, you know. There's a Context 3K Ultra Detail Upscaler thing out. Is it code or just another Laura? Dragon. Is it code or just another Laura? So I'd be interested to know that. If it's code, because the thing is, right, if they could make Context support tiling, it would be able to do 4K out the box, but it's a hard problem to solve because of the seams. No one has a good solution for seams. At the moment, the solutions that work don't have perceivable seams. Like, if you went in at the micro scale, you might be able to find it. So Laura and code. Yeah, okay. All right, well, share it, because I'd like to see what they're doing. But at the moment, it seems like there's an opportunity for these 2K image models to be used as tiling upscalers. But because that's what we're doing with WAN, guys. We've been doing it for a couple of months now. Oh, we should already have an image to look at. Let me see what the next image is. There we go. We got a crystal, what do you call it? Glass nerves. There you go. That's really good. It's because it took it from just this to make the thing. It's so good. I can't believe it's just a prompt enhancer. It's not. There's no LoRa doing this. It's just telling the model what you want. You could probably do better, you know. I'm gonna put it back on the correct one, and go Sharona scenes. And then now we cook. Now we cook. 64 images, please. How many pennies do I have? I'll probably need to top it up later. Worth it though. 100% worth it. And I can't wait to see what other models they add. Oh yeah, look at that. We've got the upscale. That's crazy, dude. You see how WAN kind of puts things on top of things rather than inside things? You see what I mean? Because he's just trying to make sense of what silly thing I've tried to make him do, you know? But I've just noticed that WAN often tries to put things on top of things. He's probably not the only one, but this, you can see it's inside of it. To a point. To a point, that's inside. Yeah? So sometimes, you know, make image better. We've lost a bit of depth here, actually. So I think, you know, sometimes make image better doesn't necessarily mean much, you know, like we could obviously do less denoise. I'm using 0.3 because I want to get it back to my character. Obviously, you look at this face, that's just a face, right? But this is actually the character. That is the character's face. And that's the LoRa training. Oh, man, that's a grip. Oh, every now and then we're getting some really good ones. So there she is, sitting down probably on a bunch of badly rendered pumpkins. And now she's sitting in Neo-Hyboria. It's actually the Mongolian steppe. The steppes are quite literal for some reason. WAN, yeah, when we get WAN control net sorted, we're going to have a lot of fun, Dragon, because I've kind of been holding back on a lot of remix projects because I know that they'll be better with depth in the mix. Yeah. So obviously we're going to give that one an upscale, and then that will be our lot tonight. So this face is okay, but that's a Flux face. Obviously Flux does good faces. I just mean when they're like, look at the percentage of the screen size. You know, it's like less than 10% of the screen size is her face. Maybe less than 5%. So there's not a lot of pixel real estate dedicated to that detail. But the one thing that this 50% does well is really steer towards things like that, because it's, you know, there's not much in the ID, is there? It's like clothing, hair color, and obviously her facial details. Oh, nearly done. Six retrains, all of them were in the same tech, not an accelerated one. Yeah, they were all, let's see, Sharona through the different versions. It may be that we've gone across a bunch of different models. But it was mostly Flux, and then WAN. Flux, then WAN. I don't think she was in SDXL. Thora was, but I think Sharona was made for Flux. I'll have to check that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she was a completely new character because we designed her based on the story. We didn't take the story and try to make the cat. We wrote the story first and then made the character based on the her descriptions in that story, you know? Yeah. Alright. What? I got 30. I got 60. What now? Oh, yeah, of course. We're doing a big run now. Ooh. Yeah, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. We're finally going to get rid of the pumpkins. So, yeah, this was the final step we needed to solve this so we could actually illustrate the story. Or potentially, right? There's still a lot of unsolveds for that one. But I got a couple of ideas of how I might want to do it. It's the pose that makes me laugh every time. Alright guys, I think that's it. We're getting off the bus, so thank you very much for coming down. I'll be back tomorrow, 8 PM UK time. Same as always, watch the pings in the Discord, and I'll see you next time.